Hey guys, today I'm going to show the video of Emerson, who's a player who lives in Brazil, getting a world record in 4 TDM Penta in Dape.io. So right now, basically, he's shooting squares, triangles, and pentagons, and trying to get the world record in the safest way possible. So I've got this speeded up in 4 speed, otherwise I think you'd probably fall asleep, and kind of the reason why I don't play Penta very often. So right now he's farming to the left, to the top, and now to the bottom, to the right, and back to base. Okay, there's me suicide. I have to suicide into him within every 10 minutes, and it's sometimes not easy to suicide into someone who is staying close to base, because you'll have to get past quite a few teammates. So occasionally there's a few gaps in the recording, but not a lot. So this world record for Emerson is one of 5 world records that he has in either 2 TDM or 4 TDM, and he has 4 million in 2 TDM with Overlord. This record, which turns out to be 2.67 million for Penta in 4 TDM, and he doesn't get this Guardian here. He had to let it go. Then you've got the triangle world record of 1.545 million in 2 TDM, and triple shot 1.26 million in 4 TDM, and also the triple twin 1.59 million also in 4 TDM. So as of yet, he hasn't got any world records in FFA or Maze. I was, maybe 2 weeks ago, in Miami FFA, and I ended up being lucky enough to get 1 million with Overlord. While I was there, Emerson was with triple twin and got to about 850k, which is around about 500k away from the world record. But pretty sure I just might have been a machine gunner or a destroyer. It might have been a destroyer. Got him on that occasion. But yeah, I was lucky enough to go on and get 1 million with 50 milliseconds of lag, which is right at the limit of being able to play with any reasonable skill level. But anyone who is even a quarter pro would have been able to kill me. So yes, there were no pros in the server except for Emerson. So right now Emerson is shooting squares, triangles, and pentagons. To the right, to the bottom, to the right, and to the left, and to the top. And he isn't going far from base. He's playing very safe. He's running a perfectly stacked Penta, so all the bullets are coming out at the same time. To be honest, the times I think it benefits is when an Overlord's trying to attack. They can't as they're trying to attack you, they can't weave between the bullet stack as they're used to doing. But in a Penta 1v1, for example, I haven't really noticed any difference in the times that I've used it. The better player will come out a winner, whether it's stacked or not. So how do you stack it? Well, sometimes you can stack via a program, which I don't think he has, because when I was first watching him, the center stack, which is the harder one to stack, was a little bit out of sync with the rest of them. So I think he's restacked it at some stage for it to come out perfectly. And it's not too difficult to do manually. Other tanks are a little bit more difficult, but the Penta, you just click it a few times, and then once it's right, you do auto fire. And you got to click it in a certain sequence to get it to stack, and a lot of times it's a bit of luck combined with some practice. So yes, GG, you just got 2 million. I was in 4TDM one day, and RIS was there, and I seen him get 2 million, and all of a sudden I watched him go past me and suicide into the base drones. And I'm thinking, and I said to him, hello, you're 600k away from the world record, why are you suiciding? And his answer was, I was bored. So, not to be world record for RYS. I have had 2 million with Penta in FFA, running a 4 movement speed build, which was difficult. This theme here, and the colours were partly chosen by aspect, and I don't like to play with this theme myself, because I find that the circles of the outlines seem like they're jittering, and it's a little bit more difficult to focus. So I did play with it like this for a little bit, but not for me. So the solid circles look better. So at the moment, Emerson is farming to the left, to the right, to the top, and to the right again. He is shooting squares. Oh, here we go. I changed back to theme, because what I've got is I've got 2 different tabs open, one running one theme, one running the other. But yeah, this is the theme I prefer to play with. It's more of a solid bullets, and that easier to see, I guess. He just killed somebody. Oh, destroy bullets. You gotta watch out for them. When you play fairly close to base, if you do get into a little bit of trouble, you can normally back off a little bit and be lucky enough to find a teammate which can help you get out of trouble. Here he is in the center now. It was me suiciding, and I just changed the color of the turret to a greeny, just experimenting because I was bored. That is a very pretty green. He's now farming to the left. He's not getting many points now. He's shooting some pentagons. So basically he's got a BP in front of his name, It's a reference to Bella, who had the old world record for Penta. So it's homage to her, I think. So when I was watching this all take place, it took hours, and I was in voice chat with Aspect. So at the end of this video, you will hear Aspect's voice, but not mine, because it was 2:20 a.m. and my family was asleep and I couldn't wake them up. So I muted myself, and Aspect loves to talk, so he just kept talking. He was farming at the same time as killing someone, then that was clever. So he hasn't done anything risky so far. Now, I started watching him at 1.7 million. Normally you play with a few more risks earlier on, and when you realise the score's getting pretty decent, I think he started to play more cautiously. It timed out then, so I had to suicide into him again. There's a slightly different theme. Farming to the left, down, up, shooting squares, triangles, and pentagons. So, at the end, after he got the world record, I was bored and didn't think this performance, as pro as Emerson is, should go on too much longer in this easier server. So I decided to go Destroyer and attempt to kill him. So after you've watched this, maybe you should let me know if I should do that in future, or if I should just observe. Most times when I observe somebody, I don't kill them. But when some servers been really easy, or they've played with so much protection, or they've not gone far from base, I kind of feel it's a bit unfair. Someone gets a super high score playing in that way. But if there's a reasonable amount of risk taken, then I will leave to their own devices. So this time I get a white turret. Just testing things out. If I observe Emerson in the future, I definitely won't attempt to kill him again. I kill him one time, And that's enough. He can farm as much as he wants without worrying that I'm going to try and kill him. Now at 2.3 million. That was the furthest I saw him from base when he had the protection of the tri-trapper. And there's a battleship there as well. Quite a lot of pentagons. There's alpha pentagons. The more people that's in a server, the more alpha pentagons that spawn, and the more squares and triangles that spawn. So it's easier to farm. So if you go into a really dead server, say in Sydney at night, then you're not going to be able to farm like this, unfortunately, and get this score. Some people might think, oh, I'll just go to a really dead server and farm my way to a high score, but it takes a lot longer than what it's taken Emerson to get this score. He took a bit under 6 hours, which isn't too bad a ratio, really. If it happened in Sydney, you think, oh yeah, good ratio, nice kills, but he was able to do that with not so many kills. But he's had 5 world records now, and it's probably the way to achieve. $2.4 million. As I'm doing the narration, fairly late at night, and I have to be careful not to fall asleep. There's a few destroyers try to attack him then. It's pretty dangerous. I would have backed off a little bit more, given he's only 200 something K away from the world record. So this is the time when really farming is completely understandable. So soon as I said, I'm going to stop my narration and leave it with Aspect to talk about what happened. Now, just as I leveled up as destroyer, my other tab timed out. So unfortunately, we don't get to see the death sequence and how he died exactly. But what happened was, he was in the center. I decided to get below him, even though I was from purple base, to kind of slow his escape back to base. And I set up a build with 0 regen, 5 max health, 7 body damage, 7 bullet speed, and 7 bullet penetration and bullet damage, 0 reload, and 0 movement speed. So that meant I was able to get quite a few shots in with him shooting at me before I died. So why do I need so many shots? It's because I'm running here with 250 milliseconds of lag, and it's not easy to get a right shot, and it's hard to get a shot at the perfect at times. But if I'm playing in Sydney, I would go with a 7 reload build. I know exactly how the time difference between each shot, and I love to what they call spam my shots. So I like to get a little bit off screen to the target for them. If it's a Penta, I have a bigger field of view, and then take lots of shots. Now I couldn't take so many shots with the build I chose. So back to Emerson. He's basically skilled with every kind of tank, I think. But for some reason he just spends most of his time in 2 TDM or 4 TDM. Well, that's very successful with his records anyway. I did try and spectate him a while back when Riot got his 1.9 million in Miami 2 DDM, and he ended up, we were setting in base because I'm pretty sure he had another tab open in 4 TDM because he was over there as well, and the Guardian ended up killing him. So basically Riot had nobody decent on the other side to keep the servers balanced. That's another video for another day. So at the moment he's farming up. Oh, he's found some enemy. So this is a situation that's a little bit dangerous when there's could get cut off from base. An Octo, Penta, Overlord. He doesn't want them cutting me off from base. So not a lot longer to go yet now to the audio of Aspect. That guy there had Rocketeer. It's something you really need to be wary of. This is me suiciding again. There we go. He's in base, and with his theme, it's too dark for, so you can't see the base. I just basically have to look at my map to see where the base is with this theme. Okay. I might just have a nap here while he's farming. really. Even though he's just farming and pretty damn close to base most of the time. He's a player who's aware of his surroundings. So if he gets a feeling that there's people behind him, he'd back off. As you can see, this score is going up massively quickly, and you don't have large groups of organised people hunting him. Here we go. They've cut him off from base, and he was lucky. He was able to get around. And that was not just luck. He could have tried to force his way back to base, but he did a smart thing and backed off. I was spectating Sistine and Singapore server a couple of nights ago, and she was in a similar situation with Overlord. She was a bit higher than Emerson, killing purple base people. He's got a suicide there. It's the only suicide that was obvious to me. So yeah, Sistine was away from base, and then she got cut off by 2 octos from base. And I don't know if she was just bored or whatever, but she just came and tried to get beside the octos, which was obvious was never going to happen. She died. The smart thing would have been was to go away from base, where she was just with the Penta a little bit earlier, and then try and go around and get back to base. So okay, in about 1 minute I will stop my narration, and then Aspect is just talking to me with his observations, and that's the best I can do because I was playing on my second screen and my first screen timed out at the wrong time. Oh, it's another suicide. So yes, if you can just let me know in chat whether you think in some situations I should try and kill some people, or should I just leave it? Alright, please subscribe. I'll leave it to Aspect. Gotcha.
When he gets 3 million, it seems like a good time to leave. When he gets 3 mil, I hope he doesn't die right now and just kills this dude. Bro, kill him. Oh my god. Why would the bullets kill him? The bullets just won't kill him. Die already, stupid destroyer. He's gonna die from this destroyer. No, he's not. He might. I thought he was, to be honest. He's not gonna kill it. Someone else stole it already. Get out. I knew the destroyer would kill him! LMAO.